Flotro season is back, and this time, I think this is the best one yet. Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and breakdown on these bad boys right here. This is the Curry brand Curry 4 Flotro Low. This colorway specifically is dubbed Curry Camp because he wore them and debuted them in the Curry Camp. He also gave them to all the kids, and I think that that's awesome. So about a year ago, we reviewed the Curry 4 Flotros. It was essentially the Curry 4, but in an updated premium package, coupled with a Flotro tooling, which honestly, it's like the best thing Under Armour's ever done. I know that I give them a little bit of because sometimes the Flotro tooling itself kind of like looks the same, so it doesn't give the shoes any more. You know, every shoe you kind of look forward to it, right? Like you're like, hey, I can't wait to see what the Curry 12s look like or the Curry 13s and stuff like that. I know that there isn't one yet, but there will be. But when you finally see that next model and you're like, it looks like the last model. That's the thing where I'm like, can you please just update? Because you can make this look like anything. So I like that they're at least making it look like the original tooling, but they're updating the overall sculpt of it so it still looks reminiscent of the original shoe. And again, they're just updating the whole package. Like the Curry 4 Lows, I was super excited for because I absolutely loved the original Curry 4s. And then when I got the Curry 4 Lows in, they were unwearable. They were so tight. The back had these two little, they were supposed to be like notched for your Achilles, but it felt like they were just jabbing you with vampire fangs. It was awful. So while they looked really cool, they felt like complete shit. That was a shoe that you needed to go up half a size minimum in just to be kind of comfortable. But the larger that you start to increase your size, all of the performance features that are in there, like a shank plate or a heel counter, they're all shifting along with your foot. So they end up not working the way that they originally intended. Now with these guys, they just fit and feel so much better. Again, they're using all of the new stuff, the Flotro tooling and all of that. So if you love Under Armour's Flotro technology, then you're gonna probably love these. On top of that, they look so good.
They look like you would be taking them out on a golf course. Like, I know that's the thing, that's his other love right now. Who hasn't seen his
not just one? Yeah, it's not just another love. He's killing it.
But I'm just saying, like, that looks like something you would wear with some like slacks and a polo shirt and you would go conduct business in.
I agree. I think he made these into a cleat.
Oh, really?
Not the Flotro, but just the shoe.
I'm just saying that I nailed it.
I also think it's really funny that when you look at the shoe on Under Armour's website, the colorway states Mesa Yellow and Cleveland Brown. But what do you think of when you hear Cleveland Brown?
My name is Cleveland Brown, and I am proud to be.
Exactly. Now, as far as the shoe itself is concerned, obviously we've got Flotro tooling, so it's a one-piece kind of like material and everything. It's a lightweight foam, decently comfortable. It's not gonna be the springiest foam, but it is gonna be a very durable foam in the sense that when you play in them for the first time and the last time, it should feel almost the same every time. And then the outsole itself is just the same thing. So it's all one piece, it's all foam. This stuff works incredibly well on indoor courts. I actually really like them outdoors as well, like the Flotro stuff. It's just that you will grind through that. It's just that when you do grind through it, you still maintain traction somehow. I don't know why, but like sometimes this foam is crazy. One of the weird things though is that you can see right here, there's like a little cutout where normally you would see a shank plate. You don't actually see a shank plate in this version of the shoe, which is interesting. However, Under Armour does state that there is an internal P-back shank, which I, again, cannot feel or anything like that, but I also can't twist the shoe at all. So it's gotta be in there, right? And if it isn't P-backs, it's gotta be something, because that's the one thing. Did they just copy and paste the Flotro 4 product description and just place it on here, which did have a P-backs plate and you could see it? I'm not sure. But there's something in there, so it's restricting, you know, that type of twisting motion, so you should still be good whether you choose to wear these casually or performance-wise. The upper is an engineered knit. It looks good, it feels good, it's thick, but it's also very durable and very supportive. That, along with the midsole sculpting, just works really well together. The shoe kind of reminds me a little bit of an Air Jordan 11, just the overall like lines and design language. They just kind of like flow, no pun intended, really well around the foot. It's got like a really cool anatomical look to it that just feels really nice on the foot. Now, what I believe is what they're referring to as the Cleveland Brown color, that overlay and everything, that's the one piece that's not a nice material. It does say leather on the website. I think that might have been just a mistake. And again, that's kind of why I think that they may have pulled the Nike on accident, just copy and pasted the Flotro 4 like product description. Those did feature actual like suedes and leathers, and just pasted them onto the low tops, which are clearly a little bit different. So again, we've got the engineered knit right here, but then the overlay material is just a skin fuse, so it's a TPU, and it's just heat welded on there, and it looks good. It's kind of got that same, whatever that graphic graphic is. I'm not a golf player. I have played golf many times, but I'm not like a golf person. So like I know nothing about the game.
You don't have the maps to all the courses ingrained in your mind?
I do not.
Oh.
But that's what I think that the graphic on top and in the back is all about, is just kind of his love for golf.
The
but I could be wrong.
topography? Isn't that what it's called?
Like a map. But yeah, I could be wrong, but who knows. Now, where this shoe is just infinitely better than the original Curry 4 Low, besides all of it, is in the tongue and the heel. We don't have that vampire tooth sculpt that's on the back there. Instead, it's more normal and it feels a lot better too. And on top of that, the overall tongue on the original was just, like I said, like a one-piece sock knit. This is not that. So while the tongue is gusseted and attached to an internal piece, it's still separated enough to where you can open it, you can make it loose, you don't have to feel like you're suffocating in the shoe. I will say that low top was one of the most disappointing things in all of footwear since I started this YouTube channel like 15 plus years ago, is I love the low top versions of almost every shoe when they go from mid or high to a low. I'm always excited for that version, and this was the one where I was like, what the f happened? And they came out with great colorways too. It was such a bummer. But anyways, the overall build, the tongue, the heel, all of that stuff, infinitely more comfortable than the original. I wish that this was the original. It just looks way better. It feels way better. It's gonna perform way better. It's awesome. The insole itself is a yellow ortholite. It's really hard for me to pull it out. It's actually like glued pretty good in there. There's also another layer of foam underneath that. It's like a blue strobel. So if I can pull it out without ripping it any more than I already have, trying to inspect the damn thing, then I will, just to get the B-roll. But if I can't, then you're probably gonna have to look at my ugly mug while I'm talking about this. I'm sorry. Now, as far as fit is concerned, you can do one of two things. If you go true to size, they will be snug, but nowhere near like the originals, the original lows. So I went true to size and they fit me well. This is basically my type of fit. It's snug, but not too snug to where I feel like I'm gonna like break a toe or something like that. But if you do like a little bit of wiggle room, you probably will want to go up half a size. And with all that being said, that's pretty much everything. It's not much to, you know, like really like write home about. It's nothing too special outside of they're really making better shoes than the originals, which is kind of strange to say because some of those original Currys were amazing. The ones were awesome. The twos were one of the greatest, especially the traction, one of the greatest ever. And then when they update them with all of this Flotro stuff, they just have refined the line to the point of where it's so consistent, it's awesome. But again, with all that being said, sound off below and let us know what you think about these. Hopefully they make new colorways. If they do, is there any original 4 Low colorways you'd like to see turned into a Flotro model? But again, thank you so much for being here. We really do appreciate you guys. We will catch y'all on the next one. So until then, have a good one. Can you see this? Can you see it? It is just draining from my head.
Draining?
It's draining. I sweat less playing basketball, which is not true. I sweat way more than this, but this is insane. I'm sweating behind my ears.
What about your kneecaps?
Not yet. If they were bent, for sure.
What about your elbow pits?
This one. The one that's constantly like this, yes. It's just, I'm surprised that you didn't see any of that either.